right. This is exciting. Back again with our modded Kerbal space program. This is maglinjosvinn flying the Tipsy Raven missions. Um, I did two things off camera with the game, tinkering around, trying to figure some stuff out. I'll share both of those with you guys before I get started, and then we are diving in. So, let's grab our game. So this is a career and career mode, not just science mode. So we have to be worried about money and science and all sorts of shenanigans. But one of the things I did was I fixed the flag problem. So let me show you guys that first. Bang! Look at that Tipsy Raven flag on the wall. It was actually pretty easy. I just made the right size graphic, put it in the right location, and to interact with it and get that fixed, what I did, apparently there's a flagpole object right here. You can get it right here too, right? And you just click that guy and you can pick your flag up. And so save it as a PNG, 256 by 160 pixels, and put it in the squad flags folder in your game data, and you're off to the races. Custom flags. So that's kind of cool. With the the other thing I did is I picked up a mission to do. I think. I don't know. Oh, that's not the building I wanted. Excuse me. Long day at work. I'm doing the remote thing right now. The active contracts, 2 of them. I only can have 2. I want to orbit Kerbin, but there's also this launch of Vostok 1, and so we're going. We've been doing a lot of American themed mission naming and stuff, but this is one of those historical things that I like to do. So there is no Vostok rocket, and I don't have the parts to build one that's authentic to the way it was done by the Russians. So I'm just gonna name a rocket the Vostok 1, and the objectives are I don't know, a certain altitude. So you got to get up that high. You got to be in that space. You got to get into an orbit, which means orbit at least once. I'll have to do that. Land back on Kerbin and have a crew member on board, and it's worth a pile of money, which is going to be handy because I'm actually running into problems, if you were watching the last stream, with having the money to upgrade this building here. So I'm a little perturbed by that, but hopefully we can make this work. So we're gonna fly the Vostok mission before we do anything else, and hopefully I don't know if this is actually gonna work, but we're gonna try. We're not gonna take any science with us. This isn't about yeah, why not? Let's grab my redstone. No, that's why I can't, because I need the part count to build a rocket that can go up that high. So my hands are a little tied. I'll just run another flight for, I'll just run another flight for. So we put our control pod on. This is my first big problem. The Vostok mission had a spherical control pod. This is the American conical shaped one. So whatever, I guess. It needs a set of parachutes put on it, so we'll do that right quick. And these guys right here, and we want the drogues to go off before we want the other ones to go off, so let's go there. Check that out. We even got our big Tipsy Raven flag on the capsule. We might have to come up with a way to make this transparent so it's kind of not, doesn't have a white background when it's on solid surfaces. I'll have to tinker with that design because I can make a transparent PNG and pull it off, I bet. Anyways, back to the point of the lesson. We need some thermal protection like that. Hopefully this thing's bottom heavy, and there's a good way to tell. We just come down here to center our mass, and it's close enough. That'll work. That'll work. That'll work. Go away. Okay. We need to decouple this thing. There it is. Big fan of the low profile decouplers that came with the mod pack. These here, these are the standard ones that come with base Kerbal, but I like how the these gold brownish looking ones look more. Okay, we need a maneuvering stage for orbital maneuvering. Boop. And an engine for that. Ah man, I'm thinking I'm gonna put a bigger tank on this just to be certain. And then let's put an engine on there. Now we want the one that's more effective in a vacuum. So this one has 215 kilonewtons of thrust in a vacuum. This one only has, oh, this one is 240. 310 thrust ISP, 320 thrust engine ISP. So we're gonna go boop, just like that. Yeah, this will be fine. I don't want to spend a bunch of money. Yeah, I don't want to try to spend a bunch of money. How much are you? 600? That's not that expensive. And man, that would make the rocket much more stable. And I'll be recovering this part, so that works. That works. So the inline reaction wheels will keep it so that the rocket doesn't. I can move the rocket around and control it, so that'll be good. Oh, and the other reason we need the swivel is because it has the gimbal. So it really wasn't a decision I needed to make. The gimbal is necessary to, if you don't have a reaction wheel, to change the rocket's attitude. We need. Huh. That's kind of neat. Just dead weights. Change your center of balance. A lot of cool stuff that this mod pack's added. We need to stage that correctly. You go with this stage. This is our re-entry stage, and this is our landing stage, and this is our re-entry stage here. So now let's put some real fuel on this bad boy, and let's put a Reliant on it. Like that, and then let's do some coupling mojo. Put 3 of them on there, and we need a booster. Boost down 3.84. Is our thrust to weight, and so we can afford some more fuel. So we're gonna toss 2 more tanks on. 3.42 is pretty good. 900 delta. Yeah, this is plenty to return. I'm just wondering if the 1400 here is enough to get us orbital I don't think it is, so I'm just gonna hedge my bet. 1900. That's a lot better. So that's 3500. For some reason, I'm thinking the right number is 4400. So let's put some bigger boosters on it. Those are some really big boosters. Well, that'll get me. That's excessive. Those are thumpers. What's going on? Stage 4 is this engine was 1600. Still not enough. Plenty of thrust in that. Well, just add some more tanks, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of doing stacks of tanks like this. This is 3742. Well, just do it. Just do it. 20. Yeah, see, every time I go up, I lose some of the effectiveness of these boosters. So that's 32. Nope, I lost too much. Whoops, I almost lost my window. There it goes. That's 32. I don't want to go up I don't want to run this mission and not have enough to get there. That's 3,500. Well, that'd be enough. Mostly because these boosters are massive. That's silly. That is like legitimately silly, but I don't think I have anything else to work with. Well, these things are even bigger. No. Those are tiny. So tiny. I just don't have a good option here. I'm just gonna. I don't want to waste time anymore with this. It's just a silly little historic mission. So these engines are way too big. In fact, it's probably she's going to shake herself apart. More than likely, she's going to shake herself apart. I need 3. And I better put some wishful services on these guys. Frustratingly, but I don't know why that's not being symmetrical, but whatevs. Yeah, see, those guns aren't the right size either. Nah, that's not the right size. What size are these engines, please? These things are massive. Good enough. So very Russian. Just throw a whole of boosters on it. Let's see if it works. Overwrite. Launch. 30 parts. What? How's it? Oh, probably. Money problems. That's 32 parts. Not bringing back a lot of weight. I don't have all my science with me, so I am going to just bring back there. A little bit of sacrifice for parachutes. That should be okay. Yeah, that 3,000 alone will push me up there. I'm kind of curious to, once I get a circular orbit, how much delta V I have left, because I don't actually remember how much delta V this takes off the top of my head. So, right. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. Careful with the P80s. Is that what I put on here? Yeah, those are P80s. Ah, this thing's heavy. Save the craft. Now, I know for a fact I'm going to have to upgrade this pad anyways. And it's not that expensive. In fact, this mission pays to run this flight. So hopefully I didn't just screw myself by spending that money. And we're going to make a thing of it. Yes, we are. Well, my big worry about the P80s is going to be I have no struts yet. And even if I did, I don't have the part quantity because of the vehicle assembly building, the BAB doesn't allow me to. So it's completely irrelevant. Yeah, there's nothing for it. It's just the way it's going to be. Throttle up now. Turn SAS on so we go straight up because we're facing up. With SAS on, we'll stay facing up. Whoa, those things are wibbly. This thing's going to be unstable all the way. But that's okay. I'm going to do a quick stage fix to make sure that engine goes off when I want that engine to start when these are separated off right here. Wow, those things really push. You weren't joking, man. Look at they're overheating. Look at that. That's something else, dude. I have never seen boosters get that wild and crazy. That's unpleasant. You weren't joking. Those P80s are silly business, aren't they? I guess we're not going to use them. Let's go back to using the backs. Although I don't know if these are going to have enough oomph. And we'll go ahead and lower these guys down so they're not up in an obnoxious location. That's still not a bad amount of delta V. And I'm only 27 parts, so I'm actually going to save this and save and continue. I don't have any bracing yet. I haven't researched it. They're right here. And I have the science for it, so I'm just gonna pick up some bracing. The problem is in career mode, but I only have so many parts I can put on this thing. And right now, my part count is a limit of 30, and so I have to. I can only add 3 parts. And when I add the struts, it's going to add 3 struts, right? Yeah, it's going to add 3 struts. So 150, 100. We'll put the 150s on there. So hopefully that's all. Oh, what did it? Oh, it didn't mirror. We need to. There we go. All right, 30 parts. That's all we get to work with. Yeah. All right. Save. Launch. I can't even put nose cones on these boosters. So hopefully those struts will help hold things a little more stable. mental. Surface up. Actually, we're going to fly the rocket from the smartass. We know we want that engine. And this is our return engine. She is just... Look at that, it's going crazy. Some kind of... I don't know. I don't know what's going on with MechJeb. It's just like freaking out. So we're gonna do SAS at first. Oh yeah, it's even getting an echo on SAS. Weird. No use for it. Just gonna go. Okay, and then we're gonna execute with MechJeb. It's probably because we're sitting on the ground and like it was wibbling on the, you know, like bouncing from. Oh, it was sitting on the main engine and the weight was causing it to bounce around on that engine. That makes sense. Don't forget to throttle up before you stage to your liquid fuel engines. And we're going to use the pitch control here to try to kick us over into a circular orbit. But we're going to go straight up on boosters until the boosters are done boosting. And we're going to wait, and then we're going to... Hello? Yep. And now we're going to start to tip over. We're going to tip over to about 80. Wait a couple seconds. Tip over to about 70. Wait a couple of seconds. Tip over to about... Oh. We're at 81. Bang! Okay. Apoapsis is in 1 minute 46 seconds. We're going to put this bad boy right at the... Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to go prograde. We only have 1 minute of burn time. Apoapsis is 1 minute away. We want to take the burn and split it on either side to keep this 81,000 thing that we have here. Yeah, see, we've already got the first objective. I guess Vostok 1 is just like recreate the Vostok 1 mission, don't recreate the rocket, whatever. So we should get both of these missions with this. So anyways, like I was saying, we have a minute worth of good burn time, so we're going to wait until about 30 seconds to apoapsis to start the burn. And there's multiple reasons for that. Actually, you know what? I am going to do this the manual way. I don't want to send the rocket into a higher orbit. I don't want to waste any delta V doing that. So in 30 seconds, we're going to throttle all the way up. And here's our throttle up. And you'll notice it's pushing our apoapsis up a little bit, but we're getting a lot of our periaps problem taken away. And hopefully we can get orbit. So we're just gonna let this bad boy burn and see what happens. Today's stream is only going to be about an hour long. We might get a second mission out of this. I'm not sure, but in the spirit of Mercury getting orbit, that was the big Mercury thing. And I know we're flying the Vostok, but it's one and the same really when you look at it. We're down to 25 seconds remaining. Getting a little nervous because we only have 600 left. So I might use a little bit of my return stage, a little bit. I'm going to actually thrust limit to make sure I have time control. Yeah, it's going to take so little to get there. Let's throttle it down. Let's separate it off. Let's throttle it up. I need to watch this number more than anything. And... oh, stop. I went up. I'm still not out of orbit, so surface up. Let's see if we can bump it the last two kilometers. I only need a little bit. Oop, there it is. Ha! Bang. And 193 is plenty to work with. So we're gonna. I had to use a bit of my delta V to tweak my my orbit. So that's a bit of a pain. What we're gonna do is, in the spirit of the Vostok mission, we have to do one full orbit. So we need to wait until we come around to the Kerbal Space Center again. And I'm not gonna make you guys wait through that because that's like 40 minutes away. So we're gonna time warp that. But we are running life support, so I have to keep an eye on life support. Very important. So we're gonna put that window up. I can't warp very fast, anyways. So there's the Vostok 1 flying around the planets, taking spy pictures of the United States, or whatever it was that the American government was flipping out over. This was the big spark to make, you know, we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard, or whatever it was. So to land, we want to point the rocket retrograde, right? So there's our orbit for the sake of historic accuracy. I want to land it in the water, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm also going to try to bring my apoapsis down a little bit with a burn right now. So orbit retrograde. I'm not going to be very aggressive about this because I want to make sure I have enough fuel to get inside the atmosphere. So we're just going to do a slow burn and keep a little bit. Whoa, that's it. Our apoapsis is now 70, so I'm past apoapsis, or periapsis is below 70, which means we're in the atmosphere. So this approach is kind of working, I guess. I don't know. So I'm just going to burn this down to 50 or so. This is definitely slowing down my orbital speed. Whoa, there it is. Okay, so I mean that's all you really get. Why are you... Was my electric charge messed up? No, it's not. I need to pause these batteries. That's an Apollo moment. Apollo 13, right? Because for some reason orbit retrograde, it's set to retrograde, surface up. Good. Are you completely down? Pitch is like hammered to one direction. Oh, because I turned off the battery. There we go. And turn the battery back off. Whoa, what the heck? Anyways, I like to face the planet, or face away from the planet, with the top of the ship to stage off these pieces that shoots them down into the surface because of the ejection force of the decoupler. See that? Boop, see you later. And then I am going to go surface velocity. Actually, I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to turn that off. I'm not going to waste any batteries on the way around because the first orbit used 1/3 of my batteries, so logically the second orbit's going to use another third. I want to make sure that I save those batteries. So Jeb is going to have to deal with some cold air until we come around again. And we're going to warp. Round and around she goes. Our last part of this Vostok mission is to re-land on Kerbin. So we'll get these two missions wrapped up with this one flight, which is super cool. And that hopefully will give us the money. Alright, so we're inside the atmosphere. We're going to go surface velocity minus. That means we want to be facing away from the the top of our ship is now facing away from the re-entry path, so the heat shield is presented to it. The idea here is that if I was to burn a rocket right now, it would reduce the velocity relative to the surface, and this one would increase the velocity relative to the surface. So, and there's the engine. It's 4.5 kilometers away. So I'm not going to watch paint dry with you any more than you want to watch paint dry with me. Although I have an interesting theory on the nature of paint drying. If it's interesting paint that dries, I think people like to watch it. And like if I was to be painting miniatures or models or doing some airbrushing or something, I bet people would have a kick out of that. So I am, however, not doing those things on the stream today. Probably put my phone on mute for these streams in the future. So we're doing re-entry here. Given the time of day and everything else, I think today's particular stream will just be getting upgrades done so that we can move forward with our storyline that we're trying to tell with the stream. I also took a moment and upgraded the channel information, added some descriptions and stuff there, so trying to add some refinements for everyone. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I will be streaming again at 5 until 7-ish. I don't know, right about in there. Our drogue chute is safe to deploy, so we're going to get that guy out now. And now our regular chutes are safe to deploy, so we'll get those out. I'm also going to reduce the time warp and bring up the surface information, because I believe, yeah, see, true altitude is only 6,000. I'm still sea level, so I'm up in the hills, and that can be really interesting. So we're going to tell the capsule to hold up, and that way if I land on the side of a mountain he doesn't roll down it. The action wheel hopefully will be able to suspend any rolling momentums. But anyways, like I was saying, I'll be streaming tomorrow 5 p.m. Eastern for a couple hours, and again on Thursday, with the goal being establishing good orbital mechanics tomorrow, and maybe some satellites to do communications, since we are running remote tech. And then Thursday, hopefully doing a flyby or two of the moon, and also doing maybe a landing. We'll see. Super exciting. I might actually land on Minmus instead, which is the smaller of the two moons that are present on this particular celestial body. Just because it's a little bit easier, and the technology is, or due to the lower gravity, it's much more forgiving, and it also has a lot of big flat spaces, so kind of handy. So as we wait for the landing to take place, we're only 700 meters off the ground. I wanted to share with you today's alcoholic choice. I'm not actually drinking just yet because I have some chores to do. I have 4 to pick from. Wow, they're being really insistent. I'll call you back in a little bit. And I think today I'm going to go with the original. So this is a mead I found at the local farmer's market. It is a Slovak mead. Opimed? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. Medovina? I don't know. But it's made from linden honey, and I'm kind of excited for it. So it says it is made from the best types of Slovak honey, linden honey, forest honey, raspberry honey, pure honey bouquet, and sweet, heady taste as a result of perfect harmony of the selected honey types with gently predominant linden honey in the background. The mead's color is amber, which you would have never known looking at it. Um, is excellent as an aperitif drink for comfort and a good mood. Oh, good mood. Cool. Well, cheers. I have dishes to do, so I have a drink to. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, that is straight from the hive by way of a fermentation. Oh, that is tasty. All right, we're gonna speed things back up again here because we're 100 off the ground. Actually, it looks like we're gonna be slight hillside. About 40 off the ground. I like to slow it down, assuming I'm not traveling super fast. And hopefully this thing doesn't want to go rolling around. Bing! We're in the hillsides, so it only makes sense to grab some science. My capsule's rolling away. Yeah, he can't take... Whoa, look at that thing go nuts. Get away from it. those reaction wheels are trying to hold it on the hillside here. Nope, nope. Come back, come back, come back! My spacecraft is possessed and actively walking down the hill. Ah, look at it. The ghost has gone about its way and... Ah! And now I'm falling down the hill. Rapidly falling down the mountainside. Ay, ay, ay. Good thing he's in an armored spacesuit. Today's stream has been full of lulls, and hopefully he doesn't crash too hard when he finds the bottom of this mountain. Whoa, whoa. Jed might need a neck brace. Oh my goodness! I have dropped many curveballs on their head, but that was a 600-meter slide down the hillside. Assuming the capsule didn't move at all. I think we'll recover these two pieces separate. Every time, see, I would bit, but every time you touch the ground, the parachute's cut. And he was on and off the ground quite a bit. I have no clue where that thing landed. We'll have to use the tracking station to do a recovery. There's the Vostok 1. We're gonna, I guess we'll fly it. That doesn't make any sense. Why fly it? Should just recover it. Wait through a loading screen. Ta-da! And recover. Probably not gonna get a lot of... Am I gonna get a lot of science for this? I don't know. Well, I might actually get science because of the orbit. Not very much. Recovery of a vessel. Wow. They really won't give up. 385,000. That's fantastic. We're just going to upgrade that guy so we can finally have 255 parts. That is going to be plenty to do some of our awesome upgrades. And then I need almost 1 million credits to get custom action groups. That's going to be an awesome landmark. Patched conics. I think that's what gives you orbital mechanics, like orbital planning. This is that upgrade. 500,000 credits gets me the ability to do surface sampling and also gets me into the next tier of science, which I might need for landings. I'm not sure if the 160s have some of the technologies I need. This one, you upgrade this one and they can get out of the spaceship while it's in space. And then this guy just... flight planning, right? You upgrade this to get flight planning, and then you can upgrade this to get multiple contracts. So we have new contracts. I'm sure we can... Next one's the MUN. Wow, look at that. Flyby, gather science, and return. With a pile of money for our trouble. So we're just going to pick that up because we're going to be there soon enough. And then testing the command pod. So this one, you just land it, and then well, okay, so you got to be in the water, which that'll happen. And you just right click it and you click the test button and she goes. Now if it says test a engine, you actually have to stage into the engine to get that test to work. Just a little caveat for you. So I have one active contract. Test the TD12 decoupler landed at Kerbin. This one should actually be extremely easy to do. Landed at Kerbin. Oh, splashdown. It wants me to test during splash. Test the hydraulic detachment manifold. Not a bad little bit of money. These are stupid, simple little missions. We're gonna do these right quick. I have two. I can't do anything. Derp. That sucks, but it's okay. We're just gonna do these two missions right quick, and that'll be the end of today's stream. Since we managed to get our upgrade, that was a problem with the last stream. And it wants me to do a test of the hydraulic manifold, so we'll just, as obnoxious as that looks, I don't make the rules. I just do what command tells me to do, I guess. And I drink mead. So to do this test, hydraulic manifold, Kerbin landed, and there's a note. To perform this test, activate the part through the staging sequence when all conditions are met. So all conditions are met, so I should just be able to go boop, and ta-da! Look at that, success. So we'll recover. Watching the playback on my on my stream monitor and just oh wait, that's the wrong building. These two little landed tests are gonna actually get me the cash for the next flight mission, which I believe is my science platform done in low orbit. So that's kind of neat. So I got to test this other decoupler, pick up the cash. So that was fun. Those decouplers are really good when you get into the big boosters and you need to get that thing the heck away from you, because it leaves with some force. What's the mission? TD12, TD12. This should be interesting because it's going to want to. I don't want to blow Jeb up, so we're going to actually do that. Instead of putting it underneath me and having an explosion under Jed, I'm going to put it above me and have an explosion over Jed. Where's that science? Okay, so it says through the staging sequence. So test, up in the air she goes, and before it crashes into me, I'm going to recover that vessel. Oh, man, that's good stuff. Look at that. $600 from the parts, which is basically the command module, and successful. Collect data from space. Well, this seems really relevant because we're going to be doing this one next, the next flight. Orbiting flights, ferry. I kind of like ferry missions. They can get you a lot of money. You get them suborbital and it gets you $4 grand, and when you do that, because he's only got one step, you actually get an extra 12. So he's paying you 16 change to just take him into a suborbit flight, and the rocket to do that would be 16. So if you can take all of these guys with you, this can actually be a nice pile of money. and it expires in 1 day. Um, that's actually a really easy mission, and it's not a bad pile of cash. It's 1632.48. Ah, 64,000, which can upgrade one of my units, or I can, and the active one. You get a pile of money from this one. 162 on completion, but each one of these side missions you get a pile. Or is that the total? That can't be the total. That's 180 right there alone. But that's already active. So getting science, it's only 21,000 with 8 in advance, 3 science, and some rep. So you know what? I'm actually going to pick up the money mission, which means we'll have to fly a suborbital passenger mission. But now we have 2 contracts. We have a pile of science to spend. I'm not entirely sure what I want to spend it on. I wanted to check this. Oh, no, I can get landing legs at this stage. What else do I get? I don't get advanced electrics, but I do get batteries and solar panels right here. Yeah, I don't need to upgrade the yeah, I don't need to upgrade yet. Building a rocket big enough is going to be a small challenge. Oh, well, actually I can get my fuel ducts right here so I can build asparagus stage rockets, which is cheaper and more efficient. So if we do that and that, that'll definitely get us off the ground, and potentially doing flybys in the Mun. Then flybys in the Mun will do the landing and miniaturization. And oh, do we have enough for this? No, that's 90. We need solar panels before we start doing long run missions. So we'll do a low orbit, get electrics, do a high orbit, and pick up some landing. Do a Mun pass by both high and low. It picks up a couple more things. Advanced flight control for mech jet. Ooh, that might be sooner than later. And then do our flybys, which will be a pile of science, and hopefully come up with a way to convert science to money. I better look at that again. So I just sacrifice science like mad, and I can only commit to 25%, but that would get me a fair amount of cash for only 20 science points, and I'll more than get that because I'm running CosmoCat effective immediately. Boom. Where's my money? Where's my money? No way! Oh no! Well, I guess learn from my mistakes. It takes reputation for science, funds for science, but I need takes science from field work and returns funds. That must be like, I wonder if that's, yeah, that was only, I guess that was only like 1,000 funds for all that science. That doesn't seem like a good trade. Hey. So we're gonna lose science and get money, which I'm okay with. Not enough science. Oh wow, look at 133 to get it initiated. Brutal amount. I have no idea if that even adds up. Takes 5 science from contracts, yields funds, field work, and yields funds, but huge amount of setup cost. I hate the administration building. Sometimes it just seems like a good deal, but it usually isn't. Anyways, we're gonna wrap there. I got some chores to take care of and whatnot around the household, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening and you enjoyed the Vostok 1 launch today. If you have any questions, just hit them up in the chat of the channel, and we'll come back again tomorrow with the Mercury. We'll get back on track with the Mercury project. I know that the streams were mislabeled today, but this was actually a Vostok stream, which, let's be honest, it's basically Mercury. Anyways, you all have a good one now.